I'm Justin Davis, and this is Joe Camp's RC. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Justin Davis. Today we're going to do a new review for you today. We're going to do the Sky GS500s and Skyzone. If you don't know about them, they're one of my favorite companies out there, and I just got back from an FPV trip this weekend, and I took my Sky O2s along on that trip, did some long range flying with our wings in the mountains, and these are those goggles. They have a built-in DVR, built-in diversity, no removable module on these, but it also has no fan on these. However, I haven't had too much problems with any kind of condensation getting inside them, and you can see I've spray painted them, I've done all kinds of stuff to them, I beat them up, and these have pretty much been everywhere with me. And Skyzone is about to send me the O3, the new version of the O3s that's coming out, the updated version, so I'll review that right here on the channel for you guys. But today we're going to review the GS500s. I'm going to go through these goggles and give you a closer in-depth look at these. I'm going to show you some of the features, some of the things I like and don't like about them, and we're also going to talk about glasses. Now, if you need to wear glasses with box goggles, these are not the ones for you. If you're looking for box goggles that are super ultra light and you don't need glasses, these are awesome. But other than that, guys that wear glasses, you're going to have to look for something else like the FXT Vipers. The Vipers do fit with glasses. They have removable little eyepieces, and those are coming up on the channel. I have a set of them right here on the bench. But today it's all about the Sky GS500s because I actually do like these box goggles a lot, and I think they're pretty awesome. They do fit someone with a sort of smaller head. If you're a really big guy, these might be a little bit small on your face, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But some of the things I like right away about this set of goggles, the fact that it does have a built-in fan up top, it does have diversity reception on top. You can change these out for a patch antenna that's going to be standing up at the top on this side, and you can do some kind of right-hand circular polarized antenna on this side. Very nice voltage range on this set of goggles. You're looking at like 7 to 28 volts, so that means you could use like a 3S2200 on this cable that came along with it, and this is an XT60 style connector, so you could plug in. I always use like a 3S2200 and I stick it in my pocket. That way it takes all the weight off my head. I see a lot of guys with huge batteries kind of stuck to the side of their head, but if you're flying for half the day or most of the day, it just puts a lot of weight, unnecessary weight on your head. So it's kind of always nice to just stick the battery in your pocket and plug it in with one of these. And very rarely do I kind of the cable get in the way of what I'm doing. So you can also run this set of goggles on a 4S battery, so that's also nice because we already have a bunch of 4S 1300s. If your goggle battery died, just grab one of your quad batteries and you can power these. So now you're looking at the very top of the goggles. Let's just go ahead and zoom in here, and I can show you a little bit of what's going on. This is going to be your point of reference when you're looking inside your goggles and you're looking to press your buttons. I'm just going to run you around the top of this real quick. You have your diversity receiver connections right there for your antennas. You got your fan in the middle. You have your ear out right there, which would be headphone. Chinese, that would be headphone, not ear out. Short for earphones maybe. AV in out, so that's nice. They are supporting AV out. A lot of guys want that on the goggles so they can run out to a monitor for someone else at the field to watch what you're doing. That's always kind of cool. And you can also, if you ran out, you could also have a secondary DVR on whatever monitor you're running, so that's kind of a nice option. Just below that we have the DC in, and that's that little port right here. It just unplugs, and that's going to run you 7 to 28 volts like I was saying before. That's kind of nice. It just plugs in with that little barrel connector right there, and nice that they do give you this cable in the box. This is the XT60 plug right here, which most of us already have on our batteries. So over on the right hand side you have a series of 6 different buttons on the right there, and let me zoom into those real quick and I'll show you what those are all about. So the very top button up here, this looks like a little video camera, and this is your record button right here. So if you press this once, it's going to start recording video from your quad to your micro SD card that goes in this slot right here. This is your DVR, and you have a way to get them out. If you'd like to, you can hook up to micro USB right there. That's sort of an Android style cable. If you have it, the other end will look like USB going to your computer. You can also end the video by pressing it again, and don't forget to press that when you land your quad to end the video file and complete the video file before you unplug your goggles. So pretty important there. Now just below that one you have sort of what looks like a little sort of radio tower type of icon, and that's going to be your scan button. So you're going to search through all the channels and bands available and until you find a video signal, and it'll display on your display in the front once it rotates around and finds your channel for your quad. Now just below that you have two volume switches, and these two buttons right here are actually a little arrow up and an arrow down. That's volume up and volume down. Those are also how you change your bands down here and your channels on this button. So I believe if you long press this button, it will change it up to the next channel. If you long press this one, it's going to change your band. And we'll talk about a little bit about how many bands and channels are on these goggles coming up. And just below that we have the mode button, and that has a little M right there. And we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but this is also your channel preset button as well. And just below that one, it has the power button right here. So that's how you're going to turn them on and off. And just below here where I showed you where the DC in is there's a little slot right here, and that's your HDMI in. So if you want to decide to watch a movie on these, you could actually break out an HDMI cable and run from your laptop or your flat screen TV and go into these goggles and have sort of a in-theater type of experience with the goggles. Now the strap looks pretty good on these. It is adjustable by 3 different points. You have 2 points on each side and one over top of your head right here, and it does have a flat spot on the back, but it doesn't have any spot for a battery on the side of these goggles on either side. Like some goggles do have a little battery slot. This pair of goggles doesn't have it. It also doesn't have it on the back. I believe the Headplay SEs actually had a little slot on the back, but this one doesn't. It's going to be mainly with the XT60 type of setup. So you're just going to put that battery powering your goggles in your pocket. Now, probably one of the most important aspects of this pair of goggles is the fact that these are OLED. They're not LED, they're OLED, which is a very, very, very big difference between the older LED goggles now, and I say older. Everybody is starting to make OLED goggles, and Fatshark was one of the first companies to come out with their new Fatshark HDOs, which have OLED binocular style screens, and they're great, but they're also $500 to $600. But here we have a set of goggles that's in a much cheaper price range. Box style, yes, but they do have OLED, which is great because that just means your colors are going to be way brighter. It's going to be a much richer color contrast ratio, and you're not going to have a lot of really kind of ugly edges on those screens. They are quite bright, and they are really like night and day compared to the older style goggle screens. So they're probably going to be a much easier viewing for your FPV. It's just you're just not going to have sort of a cloudy picture, which is great. It's really a big difference in the way these look, and I'm going to plug them in just a second and show you that. But the resolution on the goggles they're pretty nice. They're 800 by 480, and it's a 5-inch screen inside there, so it's kind of pretty much standard size. On the diagonal axis you have 2.4 inch for the OLED display in the front, and the OLED display in the front actually does have a sort of a blue look to it. So you can also see the channel and the band that you're on. So someone walks up to you, wants to know what channel and band you're on, just point to the front of your goggles, and there it is right there. What I also like about Skyzone goggles is that you can see inside the screen what channel you're on. So unlike some of the other Fatshark goggles out there, they don't display the channel and the band that you're on inside the goggles. So you have to take the goggles off, and that just a little bit annoying to have to do that. But with a lot of the Skyzones, you don't have to do that, which I really like a lot. So I have a 4S 1300 here by Venom, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug that battery into the goggles. I'm going to go ahead and push and hold down the power button. Push it once and then push it again, and it should power up here in a second. So you see the Skyzone logo there. And like I said before, you can see what band and what channel you're on inside these Skyzone type of goggles. I love that. So I'm on A1 and I'm on 5865, and it shows me my battery voltage over there on the top right. That's 15 volt. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to do an auto search there, and we're going to try to find the channel that the Futon 2 is sitting on right now. I believe it's set to F something. It might be F1. Right there is a race band channel. There's A7. We're locked into 5745. So that was a pretty quick scan. So I don't really notice if you guys notice it or not, but look how bright this screen is. It's actually pretty bright. It's nice rich colors, and I'm actually not in a natural lighting environment right now, and if I was outside this would be absolutely gorgeous. But again, I think this screen is pretty superior to some of the other box goggles out there, and it has a really nice bright OLED display, and that just makes your colors a lot brighter. They look really nice on the screen, and LED screens are kind of going the way of the buffalo. If goggle companies want to sell really nice goggles that are going to be a good price, and I can't even justify what I'm looking at right here with the color saturation. It looks way different off the video camera. What I'm looking at right here, right behind my camera, is just an amazing difference in color, but a really nice color saturation. There's nice brightness and darkness and contrast, and it actually looks really good. You can actually see some of the hairs on my arm, which is kind of crazy inside the studio here, but a really nice, rich, and a decent look from the run cam coming off the Futon 2 over there. So I'm pretty satisfied with the image quality of these goggles. I definitely say that they have a nice look to them. So if you're looking for a nice pair of box goggles, these are a really rich pair. Plus they support up to 32 gigabyte micro SD card, which is a really nice option. Now let me go ahead and press on the mode button there, and let's play around with the mode button. So that's going to put us into our AV in, and this is just going to flip around to your various modes there. You're going to do AV in, you're going to press that M button to get through the various modes. There's HDMI channel. We don't have any HDMI right now plugged into it, and there we go, back to the main screen. So that's pretty much it for the modes: the FPV view, the AV in, your HDMI. And AV in should actually be AV in and AV out on the same channel, because it does say AV in, AV out, which, like I say, a lot of guys do want. So your last button on the right hand side of the goggles, since that's going to be kind of natural that your record is up here in the front and your menu button is in here in the back. So if you press on that once, it's going to bring up your menu, and if you long press it, that's going to turn the goggles off. To get back out of the menus, you're actually going to push that little radio button. That's the second one down from your record button right there on the very top right here. The second one is going to make the menus go away. So to get into your menus inside the goggles, you're going to press on the power button once, and like I said, if you long press that button, it's actually going to turn the whole goggles off. So if I press the power button again, it's going to tab through the different tabs inside your menus. So you can go general, you can go system, and you can go to image. So you can change your brightness, contrast, saturation, hue, and sharpness there. And that's pretty cool. If you want to make changes on something, you can scroll up and down using those volume up and down arrows like I was showing you before, and go ahead, click that power button again. It'll take you to the next one over. For system, you can change the language from English to Chinese. Down one more, you can change the message window, yes or no, and formatting, yes. Factory settings, you can actually go back to the original factory settings, which is nice, and it looks like some kind of OLED firmware upgrade here. So maybe these are firmware updatable. That would be really awesome. That would be a nice option for these goggles. And then, like I said before, if you press on the very top button, the second one down from the right, press that again, and you're going to go back to your live view. To make a video selection, you're going to press that sort of radio icon again, and that's going to make a selection for you. So it's the second button down from the top right, and that's going to take some getting used to, but I can go down to here to radio display. I can hit video record button, and that's going to take me into changing the 4:3 setting. I can go up and down there, see it change to 4:3, and I like the 16:9. I think that's kind of cool. So I'm going to make a selection by clicking that second button down from the top right, and that's that little radio icon button right there. So that's going to be your select button, and it's going to take some getting used to, like I said, but once you get used to it, you can do this without even looking. And remember, to get back out of this menu, you just press that search button again. That's that little radio record button, like I keep saying. It looks like a little radio tower, and just press that, and that takes you back to the live view. And also the videos that you record on these goggles, it supports up to 6 megabytes per second. So you can use anything like a class 10 micro SD card. That should be totally fine. You're going to be recording 30 frames per second, and you can do 2 different types of file modes. You can do MPEGs, which is super cool, MPEG, or you can do AVIs for PCs. MPEG is usually good for Macs. If you're running a PC, you can record in AVI mode. And also in the box, you do get a video out cable, so you have that sort of headphone looking jack right here with 3 rings on the end. So it's a pretty standard style cable, and that's going to get your video out to any type of FPV monitor that has these composite RCA cable type hookups. So that's kind of cool. So any large or small monitor, you can accommodate that. But let's go ahead and break it down now, and let me give you my biggest pros and cons about this set of goggles, and give you some value for this review, and give you some honest opinion from me with my experience with goggles. Now, I felt like the menus, it took me a little bit to get used to, so they're going to be kind of maybe an intermediate type of interface on this set of goggles, but that all kind of gets forgotten about when you just put the goggles on, you hit the search function, and it searches and finds the channel on your quad really quickly. I love that a lot about the goggles. So I can kind of look past the navigation. I think the navigation could be a little better on these goggles, but I do like the fact that it does have a built-in fan, and it's always running. There's no way to turn that off. So that might be one con, but the OLED display inside here is what really makes this set of goggles shine and stand out amongst box goggles out there. The only bummer also for me is the fact that my guys out there who don't wear glasses, they can wear these, but the guys who wear glasses can't. So that's kind of a con about these. If you wear glasses, don't buy the GS500s. They won't work for you. So another honest review from Drone Camps. So I'm just telling you guys how it is, so that you know you're not going to buy them all the way from China and get them in and then be super disappointed because I told you to buy them. So I'm going to be completely honest with you there. So guys with glasses, avoid these goggles. But a star rating would be pretty high for these for guys that don't wear glasses. I'm looking at a 4.5 out of 5 because they do exactly what they say they do in the box, and it's nice that it supports 32 gigabyte SD card. I think that's huge because some of the other goggles that I have only support 16. I'm going to go ahead and end this review now, and guys, if you do watch my channel a lot and you really appreciate the channel and you want to keep the channel going, please do check out my Patreon link below. Subscribers and members are eligible to go ahead and support me on Patreon. If you do that, you're going to get entered to win the July giveaway, and that is the Futon 2 on the channel. This is valued around $200, and I flew it maybe once or twice. It's already tuned and ready to go. So this is a Patreon only giveaway, guys, for the hardcore Drone Camp supporters. I really want to say thank you to everyone over the weekend who decided to donate $1. I mean, it's only $1 to get to this level to be entered into the drawing, which is super easy to do. If you don't value the channel, that's cool too. If you just want my opinion for free, that's also just fine with me. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching on the Drone Camps channel, and please subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Hope you're having a good week. Take care. Bye bye.